Michael here with the PelicanStore.com. I'm going to show you a great new product that we have for all Pelican and Storm cases. It's an interior option that we will be offering this year. It's called Kaizen foam. It's 1/8-inch layers, all laminated. Makes it a great alternative for pick and pluck options for cases, and it's much more durable. So the tools we're going to be using today are the Kaizen knife, which is essentially a small box cutter knife. Makes it very easy to maneuver around turns. The long nose marker, which makes it very nice for tracing around your items, very tight and accurate to your items. And then this finger hole tool, which will be burned or heated up and used for finger holes, but we'll get to that later. So let's get started. So we're going to start off by taking our foam out of the case. You can get it in both the foam alone or the foam with the case. If you already have a case in mind, that's totally fine. Just order the foam. And what we're going to do today is we're going to take all 4 of these pistols. These are plastic guns. They are not real firearms. And we're going to take all 4 of them and get any one of these, in this case, at any given time. So we're going to have to do a little bit of universal cutting, and we're also going to do a new option which we just came up with this morning. We can flip it over. So we're going to do a cut on one side and do another cut on the other side, so that at any given time, if you're taking your HK out, you're good to go. If you're taking your block out, you're good to go. So let's get going. So to start off, we're going to take our largest pistol, and what we have here is a Beretta, and we're going to use our long nose marker, and we'll trace around the Beretta, trying to keep as 90 degrees as upright as possible around the contour of the gun. And that's what makes this long nose marker so great, is that it allows for those deeper items to be even just as accurate as the shallower ones that you'd be using and tracing with a Sharpie. So now we have that traced out. Now I'm going to bring the HK9 over here, and I'm going to line up the handles. So now I can see the trigger guard is similar, but I can bump that out a little bit, make it a little more universal. The barrel length on the Beretta is longer than the HK, so that's fine. And it looks like the HK has a little more robust slide to it, so I'll make that adjustment as well. Now coming back here on the butt end of the gun, I also noticed that the dovetail that the Beretta has, the HK does not. So you can see the previous tracing and on the trigger guard and a little bit up here. So then I'll take the Glock 19, which is a medium bodied gun, so we can still get it in this universal platform. And what you can see is that the happy medium between all 3 guns accommodates for the Glock 19, so that's good to go. So now we're going to go ahead and do the cutting. I'm going to take my Kaizen knife, and I'm going to cut, not very deep, along the line that I just traced. Make sure and try to get the blade so it's not going in at an angle. That'll ensure that you'll get a nice straight cut. So now that we have everything cut out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to just wedge it in here. And I'm just going to start peeling back the topmost layers of the Kaizen foam. And you can start this in different areas, so I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to start on this end again. And we recommend you just follow it with your fingers, just massage it out. And it does chunk out a little bit, but that's perfectly fine. Now I got a little bit here. Okay, so that's our first layer. Now, if you went deep enough, you can just keep on going on the layers. I didn't go deep enough on the first one, so I'm just going to make another pass with the knife. And what makes this knife so great is it'll always follow the smaller contours. And if there's ever details that you don't manage to capture on the first cut, you can always make those changes and peel those small details out. Okay, now I'm going to go back to this next layer. I'm going to peel a couple layers out this time, keeping the depth of the gun in mind. I really want to have about half of the gun exposed. That way it presses up against the lid nicely and it's nice and snug inside the case. I don't want it too deep so that it starts jumbling around with any shaking of the case. Alright. So now that we have some of those layers taken out, I'm going to take my Beretta. I'm going to put it in there. Now that's a pretty good fit, but I'm going to take this front sight, I'm going to cut around the front sight and maybe the rear sight a little bit as well. But by and large, it looks like I got this pretty well in there already. So I want to take these front sights and the rear sight, and I'm just going to trace around those. Take the gun back out and just make a little cut for those sights. Alright, I'm going to put the Beretta back in. Now this is good and the sights are nice and cut out, but I kind of want to make it to go deeper. So I'm going to take another layer out for the handle and add a little bit of dimension to this. So I know where the handle is and where it kind of bumps out there. I'm just going to take one more layer out for that. So that's good. There, that's great for the Beretta. Now let's try the H&K. H&K is, the HK is hitting a little bit out of place on the rear and the sights again. So I'm going to take my marker again, just make those little fine-tune adjustments. And the sights are also in a different place, so I can make adjustments for that. Now what it looks like is the Beretta is a little bit skinnier of a gun, so I may have to go a little deeper on the actual body where the body will lie. So I'm going to take that, I'm just going to take one more layer out here. Okay. Now that's a perfect fit in my opinion. Really fits in there nicely. Now let's go back and try the Glock 19 because, as I said before, it kind of fits in all the platforms. So the grip looks a little bit wider, thicker this way. So I'm just going to make that little minor adjustment for the Glock. And now instead of having to get cases for all these different guns and having to get different foam sets for these guns, now I have a pretty universal insert that I'm good to go no matter which gun I choose to take to the range. Okay, so now I have a great insert for both the Beretta and the H&K, and I can even take the Glock 19 and put it in there with just that little grip adjustment. So when I close the case, it's nice, tight in there. But I want to take it a little further. So I have this Glock 33, and I think that this could go on the other side just as well as it went on this side. So let's try that. Okay, so I'm going to do the entire process that I did with the other guns on the Glock. Another option that we offer on our website, we have the hole finishing tool. So I have a propane torch and I have the tool, and what this is going to do is it's going to finish it off very nice with finger holes, so we can easily get the pistols in and out of the case. So I'm going to heat this up. Don't need that much heat to burn the foam, and I'm just going to quickly and gingerly do a finger hole. I'm going to widen that up a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Give it a try, and of course I'm upside down, but you can see how easy it is to take in and out. I'm going to try it on the other side. I'm going to heat this back up, lost a little bit of heat. I'm going to do the same up here. And now I take the pistol, put it in there, fits nicely, easy to access. So we are all set with our case. So I'm going to put the insert in the case, back like it came. Get all the air out of the bottom of it. Fits very nice in the case. I'm going to take my Beretta, put it in there, latch it shut, and I'm ready to go to the range. Thanks for watching.